Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole?
Here we are, the Miami Grand Prix. The qualifying day is upon us. But I thought we have done the sprint race. So I put together a highlight for us to watch, which will be coming up right now as we are waiting for the 5 race light, and it is away we go. I've taught Matt Verstappen on the pole position in the sprint, actually done a pretty good job in the sprint qualifying, and there's been a moment going up in turn 1 with Russell, Albon, Dubon and Ocon, all of them battling for the P10 and moving the places up. Albon actually made a contact with Esteban Ocon, then both has a bit of a moment where they're trying to make space, but luckily not too much of the damage has happened. I believe Ocon might be suffering with the minor damage on the front wing. We got Yuki Tsunoda in P6 with Pierre Gasly coming up right upon him, and it now going side by side in the order to make the fight going down the next corner. And we can see that on the inside, that's the same for Carlos side, who's on the inside of Charles Leclerc. We're now watching them, Matt Verstappen running away now, and he's going to be very comfortably to take the spread win. And Charles Leclerc needs to make sure he can beat Carlos side of course the championship for the driver. It's very close between Charles and Matt Verstappen, and we got Russell have just overtaken Gabriel Bortoleto, and we can see ahead of us there's the fight with Yuki Tsunoda and at the yellow again, of course, going back to Saudi Arabia where they've been having that fight, and now far forward the lap. Like, Yuki Tsunoda has run away from at the yellow, now making a way through onto the Piazza. During the hour start, get the move done, and Mar begin chasing off Lando Norris. Cleaning the pace isn't a problem in the motorsport, and we got Alex Albon is now making a move on board Selector on the inside in the final corner. Will Albon get you ahead of Gabriel Bortoleto? And don't forget, I mentioned in the previous episode, but in the motorsport and the Alpine are very much equal machinery right now in terms of upgrade performance, which is quite worrying. And we got Matt still leading side second, Leclerc third, Yuki Tsunoda 5 seconds behind to Charles Leclerc with Lando another P6, Piazza P7 to that 2 on P6, so I had to defend. And wait, Lando just spun, and now we've got Brittany Motorsport coming through, and they made the contact between Lando within the middle, and no one told them that there's the car stuck in the middle. And look behind us, look how much car that's been crammed up in one spot. Orbital Lando spun, and in fact he got disqualified, and we in the last time it was now gone into the pit, and more cars are still trying to get through. So far we can see that the DNF, not to do with it, you had an engine failure. We got Ocon DNF, they Manoli DNF, Lando another disqualified. What on earth has happened there? It's Ocon who has been the victim, and in fact right in the back because he actually ended up pitting under because the front wing damage from what happened with Albon in turn 1 in lap 1, and we all have now pitted, well, Russell and those drivers who have got the bottom front wing have the pit, so there's no chance for us to finish the race under without a front wing. And here's a replay of Lando mistake, which is right there at the Piazza. Charles to stay there for whatever reason, and coming in really hot with George Russell and Albon as they come in straight together. And in fact, I forgot to mention, Albon had ordered DNF, and look, more is coming, they have not responded. Why can they not play? I'm sure we should have seen everything, and Ocon finishing it right there. He had time to react, but he hadn't reacted. Look at him straight into the back of the car of the Audi. What is Ocon doing? But here's another angle of the replay with Britain Motorsport, because I want to show there's not a chance that we knew. We can see them, look in the corner, not a chance until now, not a chance. We're going so quick. there was no chance Albon tried to do nothing. He can only spot to the last section and made the contact with me, and unfortunately Blade 2 more has a lot top, and forcing Albon straight into the wall was so unlucky, so unfortunate, but so funny at the same time. But in lap 8, George Russell finally making it way on Tim and move up into P8, and I'm going to remind you, Jack Dillon has got a 10-second penalty so we can finish P7, and Matt Verstappen is now going to run away with a win in the sprint, and that is a fantastic work from Matt Verstappen. Carlos Sainz second, Leclerc third, Yuki Tsunoda fourth, and the rest of the drivers has been affected by this whole calamity that had happened in lap 6, wasn't it, with Lando Norris. So unfortunately, they had to wait until everyone crossed the line, which ended up being about a minute later. So to actually finding Tim, and of course I mentioned Jack Dillon with 10-second penalty. He looked behind potentially Tim. I would believe my map to talk about Oliver Behrman actually managed to escape with no issue. I have no idea how he done it. Pierre, the author, did manage to escape without problem. Actually, unfortunately, had to pit under, not safety car. I thought it would be, but somehow it wasn't. And Jack Dillon topped the line to finish P7. But as Stewart George Russell topped the line, we moved up to P7, and Dillon had dropped into P10. This was the most chaotic sprint in Miami I've ever experienced, and here is the bottom stick for the third qualifier around the Miami. Nothing too surprising, to be honest, but in this second qualifier, two surprises that has been emanated, Sainz and Matt Verstappen. Matt Verstappen, who has just won the sprint and somehow got himself out. So the main shot, and here is the performance chart, and there's the proof that Alpine is likely to challenge up for the fifth place, realistically, but McLaren are so much more quicker, and we just finished our third run, which I forgot to mention now. But in the second run, we need to put on a fantastic time, which you can see in the start time over 1.2 seconds. That is phenomenal. We crossed the line. But where are we starting tomorrow? It's the good news. It is the good news. George Russell knew it's going to be a fantastic one, and we finished starting P5 and Leclerc on the pole position with Gatlin, second, Yuki Tsunoda in third. What another chaotic would there be?
F1 is back in the United States of America. We're here in the Sunshine State for a race that's fast becoming a fan favourite. It's time for the Miami Grand Prix. With great opportunities for wheel-to-wheel battles featuring 19 corners, 3.36 miles long, and expected average speeds of 138 miles an hour, the Miami International Autodrome will be sure to create lots of chances to overtake. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Tsunoda, Antonelli, George Russell, and Piastri, Norris, Bortoletto, Albon, and Jack Dillon, Sainz, Verstappen, Jack Crawford, and Colapinto, Behrman, Ocon, Isaac Hadjar, and Tim Tramnitz, Hulkenberg, Lawson, Aaron, and Zane Maloney rounds off the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'd give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was. They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Well, you've got to be prepared, Crofty. Before you even step foot inside the car, you've got to know, you've got to have a pre-race game plan. You've watched videos before you get into the car of previous races gone by. You know where you have to place your car if X, Y, or Z happens in front of you or behind you. So having this clear game plan is absolutely essential before you get in the car.
Here we are, the Miami Lawn Plant is finally getting underway, and I'm definitely hoping none of it chaotic things happen in spring. Enjoying the pieces of it is, I'm probably starting a bad play. It's a lucky one for us. We need to make sure we do a fantastic job. So, of course, we started in P5. We're going to try and do one stop strategy. We'll work back to get the clear air, and who knows, those top four might even run away from us, and you know, we have the breathing room potentially through the slot, but we're now getting ready to line up to the leg. And of course, it's a bit of a shot to one for Matt Verstappen and the Carlos side, but can they recover and make their way through? But especially for Matt, who wants to be able to win the World Championship this season, to beat Charles. We'll find out what might happen out now. Everyone lined up to the official lane waiting for the light to be able to go out with Charles Leclerc to be the man and leader, the Miami Elite now underway. They got off a pretty good start. He has been beaten. Charles Leclerc now doing the turn one. What a start from Pierre Gasly. We've got at the yellow Newton Tanona fighting again. We've got Russell, who actually managed to pick himself up into P4 behind Newton Tanona. That's a good start from George Russell and Albon, who started in P9, had locked down the P10 side by side with Jack Dillon, but he backed out, and Matt Verstappen is fighting the corner side to get up a play with P11. They're doing side by side, and clearly Matt Verstappen is the fastest car despite him starting lower down in a P12. It won't matter too much. Matt Verstappen is just charge through the field and get him up in a fantastic place, and we can see Charles holding back Matt Verstappen. Albon couldn't do much about with Jack Dillon, but Matt is now on the inside of Carlos side. So now the outside now coming up the next corner, and Matt Verstappen now taking a P11, and Albon is now going to have to prepare himself for the Dutchman to get him, and at the end now chasing after George Russell, and George Russell unfortunately lost a lot of the time to Newton Tanona. So clearly we can see the pace is nowhere there for George Russell. I mean, we're seeing this standing there, and we couldn't really be competitive with the club that we only just managed to get on win, managed to beat them almost, and we got Gasly leading with a fantastic start. Made a mistake. Gasly made a mistake. He should have fallen out of the order, and Charles Leclerc is now taking the lead. Thanks to Gasly mistake, he's coming out into P16 with that unsafe lead joy onto Tim. Maybe, I don't know, nothing has been told about Gasly unsafe lead joy, but that also means Russell is up into P16. It's a big opportunity to get a podium, but can we get there? Clearly, the pace isn't that good. We got very lucky for having a fantastic quality to ourselves up the P-bar, but can we actually finish on a podium? We'll find out. And we've got Newton Tanona has overtaken Charles Leclerc, and Albon fighting against his former teammate Matt Verstappen, who has now overtaken Albon, putting him back to where he was with his P10 before, obviously, with all of the chaos from Gasly. He moved up, but unfortunately not back down anyway. Matt Verstappen is going to try and get Jack Dillon, and we can see the Alpine suffered and a fantastic start for the Alpine, and we got at the yellow fighting with all the Piat, well, defending leading, and Piat will he get through on at the yellow. Charles Leclerc had just overtaken Newton Tanona. It clearly going to be a battle between them both for the victory, but suddenly after keep it clean. We seen some chaotic thing happening about you having me some will they be able to keep it clean and with the Piat on the inside of George, not sure to take the podium spot away from him, but George is not going to give up. He had to be forward of a little bit, but he still put it low and stayed ahead of Piat. But the fight isn't over. But no, it is. Not sure actual man at the stay ahead, and it's at the other 30. Piat, not Piat, the 30. Sure, not sure, but Piat is defended again to at the yellow. But now, this is where we need to put Sure, not into the most concentrated mindset, helping him tire and just stay calm and tempo, even though we do know the car isn't exactly that quick. Unfortunately, this season, with start so much, and we got Piat now making a move onto George Russell, and we got using Sonona and Charles Leclerc for having that 05 this well, and that now putting up on the inside of George Russell, former teammates of Tour, and that now and Russell unfortunately not to play it down to people where he was when he was qualified in the beginning of this Sunday long plane, and we got Max Verstappen after just overtaken two Alpine, which you can see Carlos already overtaken Bortolotto, and clearly Matt is on a man on a mission for sure, and Matt is chasing up on Russell now, and UT and Charles Leclerc continue fighting, but despite the fight, they actually managed to keep a gap quite the breathing room to the Piat that is quite surprising, but I know that gap is going to come down really quickly at some point, and Russell at the try and sit close to at the yellow, and Matt Verstappen is going to make it hard, because you have to think about him. They also try to think about overtaking at the yellow, but it's going to be a difficult one for us. That's the third time we actually took challenge against Matt Verstappen, especially with the new driver in the season where the cars don't seem to perform at what I expected it to be, and we've got Bortolotto and Albon are having a fight now, and seems that Gabriel Bortolotto have just overtaken Albon, and Russell and Matt Verstappen are having a fight again, doing side by side, but Russell giving Matt his treatment. The Albon out, and Russell now in P5 at the other P4, P3 might be closing on really quickly, potentially onto Newton Tonona and Charles Leclerc. Their battle is quite clean, let's be honest. I mean, we've seen how new team racing, and we've seen it in Stanley Arabia, where he actually managed to keep it so clean with at the end and beating him. Do you know what I mean? So that obviously a positive one. Borden have a drive, but that is clear, and we got George Russell, who now tries to defend his place back from Matt Verstappen, who in fact had overtaken him, but what can Russell do? Looks like he can't do much about it. Unfortunately, Matt Verstappen had overtaken George Russell, and now we've got Lando Norris behind, and I know he's gonna get Russell very easily, and that's something I don't want to happen with the time. And do everything in our power, and clearly you can see the back, the deployment is empty, unfortunately, and we've got Lando on the inside, cut the clock really quickly and made the contact with George Russell. That is not what's supposed to happen, and Russell gave an elbow back at Lando, not telling him what you just done. I don't tolerate that, and it seems like Russell is not going to give up that easily, and he stays ahead, which is positive one, and he's almost side by side with Carlos and Lando, but they escape without having any damage. And luckily, Russell got no fan wing damage, which is positive. And Leclerc, wait, hold on, Leclerc just lost 1 second gap to Newton Tonona, and here's on replay, it is about Charles Leclerc, how he lost so much time, and there he is, he locked up, makes sense how he lost a lot of time to Newton Tonona, but that is the good one for Piat, because he is now closing on to Charles Leclerc, and we got Lando. Oh, fun win! Oh no! Chaos! But it seems like nothing badly had happened, but it's a fun win damage from Lando, and I'm assuming Carlos and Russell almost slammed into the wall, and everything had come to hold it seems like the safety car had come out, but look how much damage had Lando got. A fun wind damage. What on earth had just happened here to replay from the whole incident with Lando, Carlos, and George. So here at the moment, made the contact. To be fair, I think George wasn't aware that Lando was there or expecting him to peek from way in, and unfortunately caused it damage. And Carlos side has been victim by this, but he didn't expect what happened. I had to escape from Lando, and unfortunately Carlos banged the back of George Russell, and everyone had boxed it, and Max Verstappen boxed it, but he takes it a while. He did the loop plate to potentially ban to Oliver Baron, and we now the plate to the fan wing and new tyre on, and we still ahead of Max Verstappen, but in fact we actually managed to undercut him. I just will say that we are ahead of Max Verstappen and Lando. He's coming out, and he obviously had to play the fan wing, and Carlos also had to play the fan wing, but safety car is now coming in this lap. What we need to do is just to make sure we keep on with the good form, even though what was just happening, that will put up a lot of confidence, but it should be fine. And Albon in P5, that's a positive one. But Jack D1 in P3 got in fourth place from what happened in the beginning in lap 2, where he had a bit of a mistake. He spun around a lot of places. He's now in P4, but don't forget all of the cars that hadn't pitted basically, so they will have to pit at some point, and therefore we give a hard tire driver to have an opportunity to be able to get them and potentially finish higher than where we expect. This one stop is possible, we should have to recover from the tire. But here comes Max Verstappen, pouting way there onto George Russell. He's gonna make the move, and we've got William fighting against each other, Peter and Hazard fighting with each other. But this is gonna be helpful for us, but we can find our way. And of course, we got some stop tire rolling, like of Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen. From what I can see, they got to stop tires. We have to be careful of them, making sure they don't get the overtake on up. But if they do, we get ourselves in trouble where we can't start to get them back until their stop tire dying down. And we got that now making a move on Jack D1 to out the outside, but he get the move done, and we can see the last timing Russell centering on Esteban. Ocon now moved up into P11. Fantastic move, and don't forget, they are still driving with all the time we can get to take the advantage. We got the William fighting with Charles Leclerc. George lost the ground out the outside. He done a double overtake on Charles Leclerc, and I that have John. What a move for George Russell is on a hard tyre that's not really been warmed up perfectly, but he pulled the move off a fantastic one from George Russell. Now off for Fanto Peter Charles gone off a little bit, and Russell gone leave, but that is bad, because that means those two tires will get the DR, therefore they can definitely get the move back ahead of George Russell. We've got Albon, who now fighting with both Alpine, but Albon managed to stay ahead, and we've got more fighting Torpedo and Charles Leclerc. Big time Russell on the inside, get the move done, put himself back ahead. I get the controller quad double overtake for sure. Russell making that same overtake on the same driver, two of them, with Charles Leclerc and Torpedo. What a drive from George Russell. This is man on a mission right now, trying to get the place back, putting that up into top 5. But Piat, in all of this, it's leading out over to Sutton. He had them pitted, by the way. He had them pitted, and we've got Newton not in pieces. Believe just overtaken Bortoletto, and Russell is now taking over Bortoletto. We would like to finish P7, well, try to get into P7 and work our way up slowly. While looking after the tyre, but the priority Charles Leclerc will wear out the tyre, but he's pushing hard, and that gives us a bit of an advantage knowing that it's a slaughter. And here comes George Lotto joining on the move on the Gabriel Bortonato. What a move that was from George Lotto, and Charles Leclerc had managed to succeed the follow though. Fantastic work from Charles Leclerc. I had to play that because he's got the opportunity just like Russell did, and we got Demon and Newton Tanona are having a bit of a battle on their own, and that is not helping each other out, but that would give Russell an opportunity to get Newton Tanona, and I believe Newton has pitted because I remember seeing Russell having a double stack. It might be better than one, I don't know. But Newton Tanona now takes another Alec Dalba, and everybody stop him. Everyone stop. What happened is that they made another mistake. It's another mistake, and it's a red flag. It's a red flag. P7, we're going to start P7 and then restart. Perfect so. But unfortunately, a lot of places for that. But that's where we were watching, and here's a replay of what happened to Gatley. Bit of a spin, and the Bowder team one is shot at what happened up in the top in the final corner in sprint. You know, everyone lining up so much and putting a hard tire on and stop. And hang on a minute, we started P14. We started P14 in the restart. What the hell? And the restart just got on way. And I'm wanting to respond to what happened on the restart that Russell had to put down to P14. Albon in P4 fighting with at the yellow, and Charles Leclerc P6 Matt P7. What on earth did Russell get low down into P14 in the restart? That is so wrong. I've not been informed until he got onto the track. What the flip? And Russell back on a mission, getting his way to double overtake on Toro P-top and Toro side. He now back on a mission part 2 to try to get bored to that door and work his way up, but I don't know what happened to why Russell had to start lower down. I need to work with the FIA for that one, and Bortonato say they had shot, tried and attempted overtake, couldn't do it. Lando Norris is now ahead of Jack Doohan, and that both Alpine in the point that not to the whole power for up in the Construction Championship. I think to state this day that McLaren are pretty much on the running way from up in the construction with the 4th place until we fix the car problem. And we got Newton Tanona getting on to Alec Albon, and Albon P4 perfect start. Please tell me can finish there. And Russell now have to defend again to Carlos side, and unfortunately to the hard tire we got. It's not too more now, but it's that other the tire we were on before the red flag. But it's going to be a bit of a pay for one, considering in the red flag everyone was on stop or all the time get the pit for a hard tire, and Newton Tanona it now made to the fight with Alec Albon with their team between with no Newton is capable of doing that, and he pulled ahead of Alec Albon, and Russell is in P11. He has 12 fastest lately on both Albon to himself into P9, and that'll be very happy about that. But still, I'm still thinking about why we starting P14, but we made so much progress to our stuff into P7. What has happened, I have no idea. And Russell now charges on Jack Doohan, and they stand between Steve Newty and Albon having a fight, and in fact Russell actually be very cheating, squeezing Jack Doohan onto the curb and made his way to take off for Gabriel Bortonato, and Charles Leclerc is now chasing off for Alec Albon with Matt Verstappen behind, and Lando in the 8th place. Albon so far not doing too bad, but he's likely to finish maybe P8 at best due to the fact that those drivers behind Albon, Leclerc, Verstappen, Lando are much more quicker. I think we can tell Carlos side, but at this point we are telling Russell defense against the Carlos side, you've been modeled over now, your job is to help Albon as much as they can, but unfortunately Charles Leclerc has made a move on Albon, but Albon tried to hit best defending against Charles, but can he get it, or Charles will get it? It seems like he might be able to. He's coming up to the next corner side by side, and it seems like he has backed down. and Charles is ahead, which will allow Matt Verstappen to get ahead of Albon. Today it's not a chance that you can actually get Charles Leclerc with the other, but that Mercedes is so rapid on the straight line, but hope it's not locked. We can see Lando Norris is trying to get Matt Verstappen on the outside side by side, and we got Russell who tried to get a move on Gabriel Bortoleto, and we can see Matt Verstappen and Lando are fighting with each other side by side going to lap 17, and Albon to now have the breathing room and photos on Charles Leclerc and see if he gets the place back from him. Are you still chasing after Bortoleto? We have paid, we can see it, but for some reason, but in lap 18 we now lost a bit of a time to Bortoleto, and Shire had made it right on shore, dropping like Delve down to P11, and it's 3-1, not anymore, 2 side by side. Albon and Matt Verstappen are back to the once again. Lando Norris with definitely been waiting for the right time to pounce onto Alex Albon and force locked out the P7. I think it's time to call it done for our places in P4. I think it's clearly McLaren are still too quick, and I think I can figure out what is the problem. I'm going to tell you at the end. And Albon returned back to head of Max Verstappen. He had not given up. That is what I like to see, that mentality. Don't give up too easily, and we still try to hold on to Carlos side, but we got nothing. That Ferrari is rapid, Alpine on rapid somehow, and I think we can say that D1 to catch up at some point. But Albon is now in a battle with Matt Verstappen, and Matt has overtaken and Lando Norris to try and get the move as well. Side by side, will he get ahead of Albon, or Albon can defend it? It seems like that's not the case. Albon lost another place it down to P8, and I think Carlos Sainz can catch up, and Carlos Sainz has overtaken Bortoleto, and it's done. It's done. Albon will be finishing lower, and in fact he has locked the play to Carlos Sainz down to P9, and at the end has locked the play to Matt Verstappen. But in lap 22, Pierre Gasly now got Charles Leclerc, the cheater for sure. The cheater right there has gone ahead and got the podium. And don't forget, Matt Verstappen also cheater, because what happened in the red flag is still something I can't get over with. And Albon to P9. If we can finish P9, I'm a happy man. I'm a happy man. But I just wish I wasn't race again to the 6th, because we were supposed to be in P7. We can definitely do a fantastic job defending and everything. But it doesn't matter that we are now in lap 23, now in lap 24. But the Piat is comfortable in leading the Miami Grand Prix. He actually, done a brilliant job. I think he got lucky, that's what I would say. He might have got lucky, and Matt Verstappen now chasing after Gasly, Lando P6 at the yellow P7. Carlos now chasing after at the yellow, and potentially putting himself in a fight with Lando. Albon P9. If he can finish P9, happy. Bortoleto P10, Russell missed the ball so far, but I think he should be able to do. No, he can't. He just crashed. Russell has just crashed. He made a mistake. He made a mistake. Russell, how did he make this mistake? And here he is. He's gone too hot. He's gone too hot. I think he tried to brake, but I think he misjudged it, and he snapped the tire too much, and it just span. But the meantime, it's over.
And an award-winning day for Oscar Piastri as he takes the checkered flag and wins.
They had to be decisive with their overtaking today as they worked their way through the field. And those kind of race victories are so enjoyable because it's not just like winning from the front. They really had to work for it today.
Well, it's been a long wait for many of our drivers, but the wait is always worth it. Bring them out to the awaiting crowd. It's time for our podium celebrations. And your winner today, the man from down under. Congratulations, Oscar Piastri.
Well done to Piastri. Good weekend for him. thought I took time to over the fact that the next flat happened. We've been low under it with, unfair when we knocked down to P40 when we should be P7. I have no idea what happened, and Charles Leclerc is 1 point ahead, and the Red Bull is 20 points, and we are now in 5th place in the construction. I mean, I should Joe did it. I just Joe did it, but we'll see you in the next episode. Hopefully, we get them on then, and that'll be in Miller. So, thank you for watching. Please like and dislike my video. Do my very appreciate it, and peace out.